Good afternoon, everyone. James, specifically, thank you for coming. I know you've been going through some tough times with your financial performance lately, but we're here today to help you solve those issues. We've looked over your business case so far, and we think that we've identified three main problems that are driving the financial struggles of your company thus far. So as we look forward into how we think that we can solve these issues, we've identified three deficiencies within the company currently, and those are company-wide goals, a lack of communication, and a ineffective leadership and structure for the company as a whole. So as we develop solutions to these problems, we want to look at this chart that shows the communication between the divisions, as well as how important each division is to the overall production of the microchip. But what we're seeing is that there's a lack of cohesive goals as a whole for the company, because a lot of times the engineering, the R&D, the manufacturing are communicating, but the communication is not effective. So if we implement a company-wide goals that everyone is able to understand, we think that that's the best way for the company to improve their financial performance. So as we establish these goals throughout our company, we need to make sure that they also are communicated to each division. The problem that we're having in the company currently is that we have a lot of different ages and longevity of employees. So we need to make sure that we communicate these goals and really stress what each division is supposed to be doing. So in this chart, we see that while a lot of the divisions are communicating with each other, they're not necessarily communicating the right information. That's oftentimes because the divisions, such as the manufacturing and engineering, don't know what each division is supposed to be doing accordingly. So we think that not only are we going to make these company-wide goals that we should achieve as a whole, we also think that each division's goals need to be defined, and their roles specifically within those divisions need to be defined appropriately. So once each division understands their role within production, we think that it's very important for us to assign an executive board for each division to understand exactly what their group and division does, as well as what the other divisions are working on as well. Problem that we're seeing within the company currently is that we have individuals, employees, and workers that aren't quite understanding what the managers and executives of other divisions are doing. So if we can establish an executive board that is able to communicate across divisions, that would be the best way to achieve those goals and communicate to each member. Another problem that we're seeing is that in this informal leadership chart, we're seeing the bigger the circle, the more trust that that individual has. We want to hopefully establish these larger circles in each division of the executive board. So here we're seeing large circles in the executive for the manufacturing, but then here the general manager of engineering circle is this big. Then we have several smaller circles in the lower levels. We want to establish the trust at the executive level so that they can effectively communicate down to each level of their own division, as well as across the divisions, so that they understand what the important goals of the entire production process is and for the entire company. So as we move forward with our overall structure to solve these problems that are affecting our company, we think that establishing company-wide goals is essential, but then you can't just establish those goals without communicating it to the specific divisions and outlining exactly what each division is supposed to be doing. The best way to do that is to gain trust within those divisions. How do you gain those trust? Is by establishing an executive board that has the ability to communicate within their division, but also across the divisions to understand what is going on as a whole to establish those company-wide goals.